Hi, I'm Titli and this is my busy garden. It's damp, it's freezing, I've even got some gloves on, look, and I've got my body warmer, and I've got my thick jumper, and I've got a t-shirt on, and I'm still a bit cold. Never mind, better get into some activity to warm myself up. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done in this bed over here. So that's a job for me and my secateurs. I have to say that gardening when the weather's like this, oh, it's dripping on my head. Gardening when the weather's like this isn't a whole lot of fun, but somebody's got to do it. I think I would have to say that November's probably my least favourite month, actually. Everything seems to be dying, apart from these poppies which are popping up now, ready for next year. But the weather's neither one thing or another. It's cold, it's damp, it's not crisp and winter, and it's dark by 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock? And I'll tell you something else about November. There aren't many songs with November in the title, and those that there are pretty depressing. So, I hereby declare November a rubbish month. Hello, what's this? I don't remember anything like this last year. I think what I'm going to do is trim away these big eaten leaves and leave this new shoots in the middle here. It's quite large. Don't remember this from last year. Well, I'm none the wiser, but at least it doesn't look so moth-eaten. I like a good mystery. Anyway, back to me moaning about November. The other thing about November is the TV's clogged up with all these so-called talent shows. They don't have any talent, and they're all the same, year after year after year. And then the BBC has something called Strictly Come Dancing, which is a bunch of overpaid celebrities pouncing around on a dance floor. One of the problems I have with these so-called talent shows is that it promotes the idea that to be successful you have to be rich and famous. And the way you do that is you sing a few songs on television. I have a number of issues with that, because there are a lot of people out there who are very talented who just don't get the breaks that they need. Not necessarily to become rich and famous, but to just earn a living. I mean, we seem to live in an age now where the cult of personality is really strong. And, you know, you ask 6, 7, 8-year-old kids what they want to be when they grow up, and a surprising number will say, I want to be a celebrity. What kind of aspiration is that for a 7 or 8-year-old? I mean, you know, when I was sort of 7 or 8 and somebody asked me what did I want to be when I grow up, I had no idea. I had no answer. My mother wanted me to become a doctor. No, she's not Jewish, but she wanted me to become a doctor, and I suppose I had all the right grades to go to medical school, but somehow medicine wasn't in me. It was more about science. I like science. And sometimes people ask me, you know, how come if you believe in God, you like science? As though somehow the two are incompatible. Well, science is all about understanding how the universe works. And just because we try to understand how the universe works doesn't mean we make the rules. So who made all the rules? I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed my years as an active scientist, mixing pretty coloured liquids in bizarre shaped glassware. I even blew myself up twice. Would have made the front page of the Oxford Times, but on exactly the same day as I blew myself up, there was a rather nasty incident in Bhopal in India. Stole my moment of glory. But as time went on, I discovered something much more interesting than managing chemicals in glassware. People. You can take a person and you can put them into a situation and they'll behave in a certain way. But you take another person and put them in the exact same situation, and I guarantee you that their response will be slightly different, if not massively different. And for me, that was really interesting. And that's how I ended up getting into people management rather than science. When you manage people, there's some pretty important things to remember. Like, ow, sorry, I'm pulling up a nettle here. There are important things to remember, like they're people, and they have feelings. And if you're going to go around damaging people's feelings all the time, they're not going to be very happy about working for you. The other really important thing to remember about managing people is that it's not your job to be popular. And sometimes you'll make decisions which are very unpopular. But as long as you're doing it in the best interest of the company or the team and not for yourself, and you can explain that to people, they will respect you for it and accept tough medicine sometimes. Well, I reckon that's it for now. It's looking a lot better. Sorry I went on a bit there. A bit of my personal philosophy, but what else can I do now? Well, the hot bine is finished for the year, and regular viewers might remember that I actually have a plan for this. I mean, apart from the fact that it's greenery and it covers this trellis, I don't think it has any redeeming features whatsoever. It doesn't flower, so I think it's coming out, and I'll replace it with a nice, bright, sun-loving clematis or two. But first of all, I'm going to take these gloves off because they're soaking wet and they're making my hands cold. Attack! Attack! Now then, what was I talking about before? Oh yes, managing people. You know, one of the most rewarding things I did in my 23 years of being part of a big multinational was to manage teams of people. And it was rewarding because I used to tell them, do you know what my job is? I used to say, my job is to make you successful. Because if you're not successful, I'm not going to be successful. And the problem comes when you have a philosophy like that, but your boss's attitude is the complete opposite. i.e., my job is to make them successful. Because all they then do is take credit for anything that you do. Terrible. There are some terrible people out there who really have no clue about what it takes to manage a team of people. I mean, I used to love watching my staff grow and helping them and developing them and instilling them with a sense of confidence in what they could do. But, you know, it wasn't all moonlight and roses. Sometimes if people just aren't performing and they don't respond, you have to discipline them And I had to do that a few times. Or ultimately, you fire them. And I did that a few times. I mean, if I'm completely honest, I do miss sometimes, just now and again, working in a fabulous multicultural environment, travelling to interesting places and working with some fabulous people. Too many to name, really. It seems unfair to pick a few out, but Carl and Yannick and Stephanie and Sonia and Sama and Irene and Vladimir and all those great people. But I wouldn't go back, not now. I've seen the light. Because I thought, who am I really working for? Sure, I'm working for my team. I'm working for my particular bit of the organisation. I'm working for my internal customers. But ultimately I'm working for a bunch of greedy directors and shareholders who don't give a toss about me or my team or anybody else but themselves. Hope he's bought me a nice warm cup of tea to put my hands warm again. It's nice. Right, well, there's one last job I need to do with this hot bine. Let's say bye-bye to it. I'll go and get my fork. Dee. I hope your roots don't go very far. Otherwise you're going to make life very difficult for me, aren't you? Egad. I tell you what, I think these roots are pretty big. Seesaw, Marjorie Daw, Johnny shall have a new master. He shall earn just a penny a day. Wait, I earn that now. And 'cause he can't work any faster. Well, it's out. Now I could go on for hours about poor management practices in large multinationals and inappropriate target-driven behaviours, but I'd just bore you to tears. Right, I think I'm just about done here. Well, that's job done, I reckon. Next year I'm going to put something here which isn't quite such an aggressive climber and adds a bit more colour into this part of the garden as well. I mean, the hot bine's fine if you like green. Well, I got quite a lot done this week. I hope I didn't bore you too much, but my hands are cold, so I'm going to have to stop. Thanks for watching, and do join me next time in Titli's busy garden.